I don't think the new Faces of Death works, and the frustrating part is I can see exactly what it's trying to do. This is a movie that wants to say something about content, about how far things have gone, about what people watch and why they watch it, and there are moments where it feels like it's getting there, but it never fully commits to its own idea, and that's what holds it back. So this is the new Faces of Death, and if you know the original, that film built its reputation on making you question what you are watching. It played with that line between real and staged, in that discomfort is what people remember. This version updates that idea for today, where everything is content, everything is online, and everything gets shared, whether it should or not. That's a strong place to start because that's the world we're living in now. The story follows Margot, played by Barbie Ferreira, who works as a content moderator reviewing violent videos, and she's the person deciding what crosses the line and what stays up, but she's also someone whose life was shaped by a viral tragedy involving her sister. So she's not just watching this material, she's already been a part of that system. The internet took something real, turned it into something people consumed, and moved on while she's still dealing with it. And then there's Arthur, played by Dacre Montgomery, and he's a serial killer, staging real-life videos, recreating scenes inspired by the original Faces of Death. Everything he's doing is intentional. It's built to be seen, built to be shared, and built to get a reaction. And that awareness is what defines him. So you've got these two sides of the same system. Margot is someone who became content, and Arthur is someone creating content out of violence. And the movie's sitting right in the middle of that idea. And that's where it actually works, because it taps into something real about how people engage with content now. People chase attention. People watch things they probably shouldn't, and something real can turn into something consumed almost instantly. There are moments where the film feels like it understands that. And Barbie Ferreira gives the movie something grounded. She feels like someone carrying something that never really goes away. And when the film stays with her perspective, it feels focused. It feels like it knows what it wants to say. Even with Arthur, there's something there in how everything is constructed and how everything is designed to hold attention and how familiar that feels in today's world. But this is where it starts to fall apart for me, because the movie clearly wants to say something about exploitation. It wants to say something about how far this kind of content has gone and how it affects people, both the ones creating it and the ones watching it. But it's doing that through an exploitive remake of an already exploitive film, and that's not a small issue. That's the entire movie. And I kept coming back to that same question. Is this calling it out, or is it just continuing it? Because the movie never really separates itself from what it's criticizing. It uses the same kind of material, the same approach, the same methods to keep you engaged, and at a certain point, that starts to work against what it's trying to say. There are 2 points where that really stood out. The first is how the film handles its own premise. It sets up this idea of questioning violent content and questioning why people watch it. But then it presents the same kind of material in a way that pulls you in instead of pushing you back. So instead of creating distance, it keeps you engaged in the exact thing it's questioning. The second is how it builds tension. There are points where it feels like the movie is about to confront the audience and make you think about your role in all of this, and then it backs off and goes right back into the same pattern. So instead of building towards something, it just circles the idea without fully committing to it. And that's where it loses me, because I don't need it to have all the answers, but I do need it to take a stance, and it never really does. It raises the question, it sets up the idea, but it never fully follows through on it. So where do I land on it? I think if you're a horror fan, you're going to check this out anyway, and you're probably going to have a strong reaction one way or the other. You're either going to connect with what it's trying to do, or you're going to reject it completely. But for me, I land in the middle, leaning toward not recommending it. I'm glad I saw it because there are ideas worth talking about, but I don't feel any need to go back to it. And I think that's really what it comes down to. If the movie is trying to prove something about exploitation, does it prove it? Because we're sitting there watching it. Are we supposed to feel guilty watching this? Or are we supposed to feel entertained by it? Because I don't think the movie ever fully decides that. And because of that, I'm not sure it earns the message it's trying to make. Appreciate you going on this film journey with me, and as always, be real.
That is the first rule of content creation. Give the people what they want.